Hey, this is Jason.
This is Travis.
We got a special episode brought to you from the world headquarters of QB's on Wheels, also known as my office. I'm in the background on Travis's screen, so hey,
As you can
this
see,
is
look
this
at
is
right there.
ow, my face. Don't do that. Okay, that's enough being stupid. Tomorrow night we're going to do a live broadcast on streaming on YouTube, starting at about 8 p.m. and running right up to the start of the game between the uh, Packers and the Bears. So I hope that you'll join us at 8 o'clock tomorrow night for first night of the season. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of news because there are uh, a lot of signing bonuses. A lot of people are getting fat stacks of cash. So we're going to talk a little bit about the ridiculous quantities of cabbage that these players are getting. Why don't you kick us off with some the news on Jared Goff?
Yeah, Jared Goff just signed a 4-year, $134 million contract, $110 million guaranteed. I mean, that's some crazy money. I think he set a NFL record with the guaranteed money. He's a good quarterback. Do I think he is worth what they gave him? No. I mean, that's Aaron Rodgers' money, and he ain't close to Aaron Rodgers. So, but he's on a good team, and he's got a good coach and stuff. So I guess just as long as he can keep winning games, he'll get paid.
I think the thing with Carson Wentz and Jared Goff both are they have to secure those guys for the future of the franchise. So apparently they are convinced that these guys are, going to be their quarterback for the next 5 to 7 years. So they locked them in. But that's an expensive padlock, especially with that guaranteed money. That's rough because if these guys get injured, you know, we know that, even look at Andrew Luck was the superstar kid, and it wasn't too long and he was on injured reserve for an entire season.
Yep.
And there is some compensation under the salary cap, but not that much, not 110 mil. So if there's guaranteed money there, that affects the cap whether they play or whether they don't. The other thing is that essentially it shuts the coffin on any backups because they know that for 110 million, they're not benching that guy ever.
Nope.
Yeah, I think that good players remain good by constantly competing against themselves, and they need to know that the young rookie is there waiting. And I don't know if that helps a quarterback to have those guarantees. I think every guy on the NFL should be willing to compete for their job every single year.
Yeah. What happened to your boy Zeke?
Zeke got signed. Now he got a big contract, 90 million, 50 guaranteed. However, this is the right call in my opinion. And there's two reasons. One is it was a contract extension. So it ties him down for 8 years rather than you're essentially it's a 6-year contract, but it's an extension. So he is committed to the Cowboys for the next 8 years. The numbers are big, but they're not insane for an 8-year stretch. And a little over half is guaranteed money. Now, on the one hand, I don't like guaranteed money because it can really screw your team. But on the other hand, those big long-term contracts that have the biggest dollars at the end of the contract, you can get screwed if you get hurt.
Yeah.
So I think that every player deserves a little bit of an insurance policy, and I can see giving half of the money guaranteed because there are no guarantees in the NFL.
Right.
So that means that he will be financially secure forever. But regardless of how many years he can play and how productive he is for that many years. Now the question I have is, Travis, if you have money, say 50 million, and you got yourself a running back, do you make him earn it by playing every week? I mean, every down? Or do you say, all right, now I got to make this guy last 8 years because we got him under contract for a bunch of money? So I'm going to make him a first and second down back and bring in another back, third down, to save him from the hits. I don't know.
No, I'd probably give him 20, 25 carries a game. I wouldn't overdo it, but I wouldn't go light on him either. Because he's a young guy. He's now the highest paid running back in the league. He definitely deserves it. He got one hell of a line too, so they should be all right. But yeah, I think he deserves it. I definitely think that that Dallas will be all right for the next couple of years. Now, I do think that he deserved it over Dak because he's shown more value to the team than Dak, in my opinion. And so I'm glad they paid him first instead of Dak, even though Dak's going to get more money because of his position. But yeah, he's definitely worth the money they paid them, I think.
All right, we covered my favorite team. What's going on in Atlanta?
Well, I just heard that the Falcons restructured Ricardo Allen, he's safety, and Jake Matthews, the left tackle, their base salary into a signing bonus. So it's instead of on the salary cap, it's just their money. You know what I mean? So that frees up an extra $5 million to try to sign Julio Jones to an extension. I don't know if it's going to get done by the first week, but they are trying to do it by the first week. Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, said that Julio will be a Falcon for life, which is awesome because Julio is the best receiver in my opinion. He might not get the touchdowns that other receivers do, but just look at the yards and stuff. And maybe the whole touchdown thing is because he got two other receivers that are more capable. When he's taking double teams, they want to win. He wants to win. He don't care about the touchdowns and the stats. He just wants to win. So,
well, and Art Blank is the same way. He wins by winning Super Bowls, and you win Super Bowls by having a bunch of talent across the field. So he doesn't need Julio to set records. He needs Julio to be good enough to catch a great ball once in a while and to be a distraction to the defense every single play.
Yep, he needs to take the double team.
Yep, if he is scary, then he's valuable as a receiver. I remember, I don't know if you remember Alvin Harper, but Alvin Harper was a decent receiver, but not great. And he was on the other side of the field for the Cowboys with Michael Irvin. And Alvin was out there getting as many balls as Irvin got. Their stats were very closely aligned. The difference was you had to double and triple team Irvin. He was always had a safety kind of shadowing him. So Alvin Harper got a big head, and he got a new contract with the Buccaneers and basically disappeared into the dust. And that's kind of shows like you can have the stats and not be a great receiver. If you have another great receiver on your team.
Yeah.
So that's great. I'm glad that Julio will be around. Now, if his deal doesn't get done by first day, is he going to play?
They said that they don't think that he's going to hold out, which I don't know. He held out, what was it, a couple years ago. So, I mean, he might, but I don't know. He's a pretty good professional about stuff most of the time. So I don't think he will. I think he'll be all right because he said multiple times on TV and ESPN and stuff that he believes the word of Arthur Blank. So yeah. I think he'll play.
Good.
Who's getting in trouble around the league is, I guess, the next thing.
Well, I think that Antonio Brown is without a doubt one of the best receivers in the league. And on the one hand, we're sorry to see him leave Pittsburgh, but the reality is that they didn't try hard to keep him. And when you have great talent like him and you don't try hard to keep him, it's because of a personality issue, a personality conflict. And now he's at the Raiders, and that's shining through again. He missed 2 practices, and the Raiders fined him $58,000. I don't know what my salary is, but I think 58,000 would hurt me pretty bad if I were. That doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how much money you make. 58,000 is going to cramp your style. And I guess he went off. And not only did he go off, but he was like ragging on other teammates. And I think that's an issue for 2 reasons. One is if you're getting paid the big bucks, you show up to practice. You're not a Sunday, Sunday only player. You are there every day, and you're there 24/7, 365 if your team demands it of you. And then the second piece of it is you don't rip on your teammates who showed up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unprofessional. The minimum wage for a veteran is at $450,000. These are highly paid professionals that deserve respect, even the lowest of them. You know what I mean? The guys you never heard of in the NFL, the guys on the practice squad still deserve respect. And so I really question whether Antonio Brown is going to be one of these hot-headed, right there with wide receivers. T.O. and
that's what I was going to say, T.O.
There's a bunch of highly talented receivers that are just assholes. So, it is.
He's a great player. It's just he's not a good professional at all.
Right. And how does that hurt you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The difference between Julio and Antonio Brown is that Antonio Brown doesn't have any other receivers. So regardless, he's still going to get the ball. They're still going to throw it to him. So, unlike the Falcons, Julio is just as valuable as a distraction as he is as the number 1 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to throw to Antonio Brown. There's no doubt. So he's going to get the stats and think he's a superhero. I don't know.
But he also, in Pittsburgh, I remember when he got fined and got in trouble for live streaming that locker room speech by Tomlin. And yeah, he just posted I think it was on Twitter or Instagram, a picture of the fine that he got from the Raiders. So it's going right back to Pittsburgh. He's doing the same shit. Like he needs to grow up, man. He's one of the best receivers in the league. He's a great role model for kids. Like act like it. You gotta
Yeah.
you're getting paid the big bucks or paying you the big bucks. Not only do you gotta do it on the field, you gotta do it off the field too. So
Yeah, and I don't have any problem with people who don't want to be role models for little kids. That's kind of some of them take that responsibility very seriously, and some don't. But you still have to be a professional to your peers. That's the thing with Antonio Brown is yeah, you're right. He's a bad role model, but there's lots of bad role models out there. But he's also not a team player. He's not there for his employer, and he's disrespecting every other member of the Raiders when he does stuff like this.
there's millions of kids out there that want to be the next Antonio Brown, and now they're thinking, I wonder if I actually want to be Antonio Brown. You know what I mean? Like,
and there's millions of mamas that say, "Hey, you should be the next Antonio Brown. Don't be that."
yeah.
But
Yeah, that's the news for tonight, though. So,
well, I am looking forward to the start of the season.
me too. I'm so glad it's finally here.
Tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m., right before the Packers-Bears game on our YouTube channel. We're going live. If I can figure out how to get all the tech to work. But, yes, we're excited and going to have a great season. In our show tomorrow night, this is what you're going to get if you show up. A, we're going to pick the winner for the Packers and Bears. And we've decided that we're going to each pick a winner, and we're going to have to fight to see who gets it because we're going to take opposite teams. Next thing is we're going to give you our predictions. You've heard our predictions about the divisional champs. Now we're going to predict the conference winners for the AFC, the NFC, and, of course, the Super Bowl. And we'll each pick our most likely MVP for the whole league. So tune in for that. You'll get the great wisdom of Travis and the mild ego of Jason. Or wait, is that the other way around? I can't remember.
I think it's the other way around.
All right. So subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified whenever we go live. We're going to try to do live once in a while. Don't know how often yet. Depends how well it goes tomorrow night. But tune in, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Peace.
QB's on wheels. We are out.